We're at a very interesting juncture in the education system here in Jamaica. This year we'll celebrate 50 years of independence, and alongside that we will have the opportunity, I believe, to reflect on some of our major achievements as well as some of the issues that are really challenging us even after 50 years of independence. I'd want to say that in regard to our achievements, we can be proud of the number of children who are now accessing education across the country, in our deep rural settings, in our towns and our cities. Everywhere you go, you can see children going to school. Of course, there are some challenges. We have some challenges in regard to the quality of education. We have some challenges in regard to the availability of what I consider to be something which is really important, the availability of space in quality schools, good quality schools. If you look at the system in general, we've had a large number of teachers, a significant number of teachers have been upgrading themselves from the certificate in the 60s and 70s to the diploma, and now at the teacher training level we have actually started the degree, the 4-year degree in education. So we've made fantastic strides in terms of training, and I can say when we look at our Caribbean neighbors, we probably in Jamaica have the largest number of teachers trained at the tertiary level teaching in our schools. The flip side, of course, is that is about teacher quality, the quality of what they do. I feel very strongly that we need to be improving in that area. They weren't doing the assessment of children as well as they should. The issue of teaching strategies and methodologies is still something I think that is a concern to us. But we do find in many of our schools that teaching is not as impactful as it ought to be in terms of the outcomes for children because of the way in which methodologies are selected and used, and in some cases it's the methodologies and the strategies alongside the teaching resources. Many of our classrooms are still not conducive for the sorts of constructivist approach to teaching that we'd like to see, group work and children finding out, but there are many classrooms where learning is exciting, where teaching is exciting. And when I think about what needs to be done, I also think about the things that we have achieved and the things that are going on in schools that we can be very proud of. I think we can be proud of the way in which many of our teachers have taken to caring and to teaching from or relating with children from a compassionate point of view. There are many teachers who go more than the extra mile to ensure that children are fed, children are clothed, children are protected, and I think that we really need to congratulate our teachers for achieving in those areas. The improvements in our education system will, to a certain extent, depend on improvement in teacher training and teacher professional development. And so one of the things that we are looking at my college, Shortwood Teachers College, is the idea of profiling our students. So when they leave the college, they go to the workplace with a profile of their competences and skills, as well as, and of course this profile would indicate the areas in which they need development. And I think that would help principals in their schools, in the receiving schools, to target professional development. I think the area of recertifying teachers is something that, again, we can be proud of. It's a new initiative. being led by the Jamaica Teaching Council. I think this is going to help teachers to focus on the things that are important in terms of their own professional development. I think at the systems level, right now in Jamaica, I would want us to move as quickly as we can from engaging in projects to ensuring that many of the wonderful projects that we have been engaged in, for example, the New Horizon projects funded by the USAID, and other such projects, move from being projects to being programs, so that the schools can have a greater sort of longitudinal approach to planning for children's learning. Sometimes when a project comes to an end, that is the end of the great idea that we had during the project. And we want to see, I would like to see projects becoming programs, because some of the projects that we have benefited from have been fantastic projects, but they really need to be moved into programs. The next 50 years are going to be no less challenging, but I also think full of opportunities for all our children. Jamaica is full of wonderful children, wonderful people, just waiting to excel. Every child you look at is a bolt in the making.